This segment is brought to you by Central National Bank. Put our ag professionals to work for you.
Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor on Ag AM in Kansas. I'm your host, Conrad Capus. Today's episode is all about the 50-year Water Vision Plan. Take a look. In October of 2013, Governor Brownback issued a call to action to his administration to develop a 50-year Water Vision Plan for the future of Kansas. Today, the results of that call can be found at the second draft of the 50-year Water Vision Plan.
A year ago, we started this water visioning process for the state of Kansas. We've had 250 meetings, 12,000 people participating, and then coming up with this document that has a series of phases and action items. Kicking that off here on the implementation phase of it, the intent is to get 75% of the first phase items done within the next year. Key parts of that are going to be a local planning process where goals are set for the next 50 years on local, regional, actually river basins throughout the state. I believe in local planning, I believe in local control, I believe in the leadership to deal with this. We're seeing some of the early leadership really step up and identify things they need to do to conserve and extend the Ogallala Aquifer, to deal with water need problems down basin from, say, John Redmond Reservoir. So we're seeing the early steps of that. We are going to keep on top of this. As I said when I was running for re-election, one of the top issues I wanted to deal with was water. It's one of our key issues and assets that we've got significant issues we have to wrestle with if we're going to have a bright future and opportunities. And we've identified a number of key areas and action steps, and we'll move those on forward.
There have been problems in the past with federal regulations on water usage with farmers, including ones from the Environmental Protection Agency and other government organizations. The Kansas Water Office and the Brownback administration want to eliminate that and propose that all water usage in the state, both for producers and consumers, be a state-determined issue.
We are going to fight tooth and toenail against federal control of our water. Water is a state and local issue. It's not a federal issue, and we're going to fight. We're going to fight waters of the United States. We're going to fight control by EPA or any other entity to try to control our water. Having said that, then we've got to step up and deal with our water issues. We've got to deal with primarily our water quantity issues. We've got quality issues, but what this document's mostly focused on is quantity. How do we conserve and extend the Ogallala so in 50 years we've got a 50-year horizon here, and the same with our reservoirs, that some of which are silting in.
In the past, issues with the aquifer and reservoirs have been a back burner issue, and state government wants to bring it to the forefront of legislative issues. You know,
it's more acute now. You've got many more people ready to deal with it than in the past. The conversations have been much more intense and focused now than in the past. I've been around a number of these in the past, and there is a level of concern that I don't think's existed like it has in prior efforts. Plus, we've already done several things now. Repealed use it or lose it in the first term. Did the local intensive management areas, the Lehman, got the first one of those launched. It's working. So you've got a model for people on a local groundwater issue of what to do. And so you've got things that have happened that hadn't happened previously. And then I just think the willingness is far greater now than it's been in any time I've observed it in the past.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer, who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here, now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor on Ag AM in Kansas. I'm your host, Conrad Capus. Today's show is all about the 50-year Water Vision Plan at the Governor's Conference in November. Take a look. Last year, Governor Brownback issued a call to action to his administration to develop a 50-year water vision plan for the future of Kansas. After the first draft was made, revisions were brought to the annual Governor's Conference on the Future of Water in Kansas, which was held November 12th through the 13th at the Hilton Garden Inn and Conference Center in Manhattan, Kansas.
Oh, absolutely. If you don't have water, you don't have a future. And that applies to people, it applies to an economy. I mean, we have to secure long-term water resources.
The Brownback administration believes that federal regulations on water usage with farmers, including ones from the Environmental Protection Agency and other government organizations, should be a state-determined issue.
I believe in local control, and I believe in the leadership that's here. There was a lot of people that said, okay, you need to do a number of mandatory things. Most of those people said that privately, and they didn't put that out. But the way to deal with these issues when you've got such a varied resource, which we do, particularly in the High Plains Aquifer, is you got to get that local control and local buy-in. That's why the first LEMA was a really important thing, for it to happen and for it to be successful and work. So, you know, as I said, we're going to push the change of that LEMA statute to make it more flexible. We're going to push implementation of more LEMAs and a localized planning process by basin, which is a little different configuration. And have but people within that basin then, they know their groundwater resources and surface water resources. And we're going to push hard to get them to set, okay, what's your objective, what's your goal here in this region given the water resource, and you know what it is. And then we're going to keep on top of that. Water's a tough issue. I mean, as long as I've been around it, it's been a hard issue. And we're starting to make some progress. We need to make more progress on this for future generations.
The Local Enhancement Management Area, or LEMA process, is a central component of the legislation supported by Kansas Governor Sam Brownback in 2012 to reform multiple Kansas water statutes. It allows GMDs to initiate public hearing processes to consider locally developed LEMA proposals aimed at conserving water resources while also meeting local needs.
This amending the LEMA statute, I think, is a key one, really, because we had several attempts to put LEMAs in other areas, and it was either too big, it ran into different problems. I think we need to make that statute more flexible for people to be able to effectively use it. And there were several other things that were mentioned in there as well, but to me, in my way of thinking, that LEMA offers a local control and a way for locals to set their objectives and limit themselves, which is, I think, going to be a key part of this this process, and we're going to watch it closely. It's something I'm going to be very focused on in this second term.
Tar Waters has what you need for all seasons for around the farm and home. Working, hunting, growing, feeding, snow removal, even fun for the kids. And a service department with experienced techs to help keep your equipment in top running condition. Tar Waters has a huge selection and the best prices. Tar Water Farm and Home, family owned and operated since 1978. They have what you need.